fitted with the aesthetic, and I was very happy with how it turned out, as you can see here. However, the interior was completely empty, so I set a waypoint for where my base was and set out to get some more materials, different types of woods. I found this at one point, I think it's oil. I also made myself a bigger backpack, upgraded it twice with my backpack, and meaning I could carry on some. Then I worked on the floor, just a very basic pattern, but I think it ended up looking quite nice. I also made some armor from which I thought was really cute on Belinda. And then I brought back the waistcoat from the village here. This is my strong suit, but it ended up looking okay. I made these iron barrels here, which work like little chests, which are also much better. Also, this mod pack has these giant flower pots, right? And some of those in, as well as some small ones. Found more spawners underground as I needed more iron for those barrels. I had my first fight with a pack of mobs. I did manage to get out of the farm, and I just set out my resources. And obviously, caves are insane. I kept looking around in awe at how many resources I could see, etc. And when I returned to the service, I crafted this dual barrel. So we're starting out with some star items, and we added some more items that we things. And then we went ahead and on this. Then this happened when I was trying to sleep. Because I spent so long doing this floor and I just ruined it. So I had to go get some more logs to replace that with. And a lot of this day I just spent seed hunting. It's kind of tricky to get seeds and get some random seeds, so I decided to plant some corn as well as the wheat on this island here. And you can see it's going to look real cute when it's all grown. Well, it's all ready to grow. We decided to decorate some leaves here at our house. I had this fireplace here. I went on a little adventure to get some more materials such as hardwood and some spruce wood. As in this mod pack, we have some spruce ladders, which looks so much better than regular old ladders. And we're going to be using them to get to our next floor, which I made using the hardwood I collected as well, which I think is a really cool, nice looking colour which goes well with our house here. And I really like these barrels because I just hate how chests look normally, so I made a load of them and placed them everywhere so we could start storing stuff. As well as some nice flowers, we just have so many choices, I just want to put them everywhere. And then when they've got some red wool to make a sofa, that's right, a sofa, to put around our fires. I thought it would look really, really big. All this stuff is a prize, but I just wanted to make the area look nice when I came in. By this point I had built my confidence back up to go mining once more for that creeper explosion and get a load of resources.
What happened?
Very nice, and I actually had enough. In fact, now it's maybe my first diamond check. Let's play. Look at how strong and powerful I look. Just kidding, I've got iron armor for the rest of it. As well as the golden barrels, I wanted to make some golden furnaces. So here you can see crafting the basic.
Kita
very quick.
Ayan natin si Kuya.
Coffee table to my living. Honestly, I'm loving the aspect. It's so cute. But you know what isn't cute? The upstairs. So I added an editing level here, which honestly is just a decoration. I'm not going to really use that much. And for some reason at this point, 3 whole days. So I guess to finally have everything in the right places on the floor. I think it's something that way from now on and get rid of this ugly chest out here which I don't and I need some relaxation time. So I watched the sunset that day. Here's a little time lapse of me collecting dirt, just to prove that I'm collecting the dirt. And then we got some
Magaan tao.
Balik.
Okay. Labahin natin po yun.
Well, however, because I don't have silk touch, I have no grass on that island, so I can try to make a packet to link the two up. And after the spreading, I gathered more dirt and also made me another star island. Now we have 2. I'm planning to have quite a few of them, as I think they do look really cute. I decided to punch some carrots on this one there, no wood there, and crank inside, trying to sit by the fire, but Linda by my side. Now the grass was spreading so that I actually decided, oh, I'd probably back just against silk touch. So I went and did some trading with some villagers. We came across some really weird trades while on the way. It's interesting and shiny bugs. And I didn't really have a way of trade with it to replenish. That's what I did until I finally could afford the silk touch. It was too expensive. and added it onto this nice shovel here. And as you can see, the grass, it looks so nice now. But of course we have to build a barn on it, so I set out gathering some materials, and I wanted to keep it in the style of my house, so I gathered all the materials I would need, and I also added this path across the island with plastic cobblestones and lily pads, and I've taken some inspiration from my wife Lizzie. I added some signs to my house, including Dream Big, Build Bigger, and Live, Laugh, Jeremy. And on day 43, I decided to build up this island here. I wanted the barn added up to get building it, and we've got this style here which I think looks really, really cool. We're going to have cows on one side and sheep on the other, and they'll be separated off by these gold bars here, which fits in really well. I then got fencing off this island, as obviously we don't want them to escape, and then went and lured some cows into my boat so I could transport them across to the crescent moon, which honestly was quite easy to lead them across. A bit harder than normal, but I did it, you know, I did it with ease. I also got some sheep at the same time and bred those guys together as well, and we are all set. So I decided to decorate the island a bit more, using some rocks, flowers, etc. to try to make it look a little prettier. Even added a little waterfall which looked really cute, and looking from above, so adorable. There is one thing that was annoying me though, and that's that I have to use boats to get everywhere, and I get seasick, so I decided to build a bridge instead, as you can see here. Pretty simple looking, but it does the job. I also added some mossy cobblestone and lily pads to get to the big crescent moon, and then we collected some dirt and we made a nice little hard one, and we're going to have this as our mine. I wanted to try and start a strip mine, so I started digging down, etc., getting a little chest area sorted out. However, it's a bit tricky because all the caves around this area are just massive, so I kept digging into them, and I kept breaking into big caves again and looking at stuff. I didn't actually find any diamonds, unfortunately, and my pickaxe was only broken, so I could make some silver ones. Stumbled across this weird cave here, which looked really quite funky, but I didn't have luck with diamonds, so I found this chest here, which had 2 diamonds in it, some golden apples, which were nice. And then suddenly diamonds just started appearing out of nowhere. I managed to find quite a lot. I think I got 19 in total. Some of them were just singles like this, but the majority of them had like 3 or 4 bits on them, which was lovely. I made my way back up to the surface. I just dig up, found this wolf here, but I couldn't take this out of no boat. And I got crafting myself a full diamond armor, looking a lot safer now. I also made a diamond sword and a diamond pickaxe. I couldn't be bothered to wait for my cows to regenerate, so I just went and killed some to get some beef, and we're going to take on this tower here. I was too scared earlier on, but we got full diamond armor now, so I thought we'd give it a good go, and I managed to get some decent stuff from the chest in here, including a diamond, gold, iron, etc. But it starts to get a bit tricky, layer by layer. Lots of zombies kept appearing. I had to use a couple of golden apples, which wasn't too bad because I kept finding some as well. The spider layer was a bit annoying because of the poison, but honestly, it wasn't too tricky. It was the layer after this where it starts to get real tricky, and to be honest, the rewards weren't that good. There was occasionally something quite interesting like this enchanted book here, but for the majority of the time I had to kill like 20 zombies to get basically some iron. It was a bit ridiculous, and I stopped going up the ladders eventually and just started digging up and trying to destroy the spawners, which worked a little bit terrifying when zombies just started dropping down all over you. Also, the spawners dropped something called a boss key, which I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure we'll find out later on. I realised I could use daylight to my advantage, so I went outside, which is probably quite dangerous. Looking back, I was pretty lucky as somebody didn't come and just punch me off. I probably would have died there. Stole this enchanted table, slept as I wanted it to be daylight, and eventually I just gave up. There were just too many zombies. One, you can hear them falling down behind me here. It got ridiculous, so I headed home, gave Frank the name of one of the name tags I got, and then we got working on another small sort of crescent moon island here, right next to the heart, as this is where we're going to put our enchanted table. I didn't know what shape to do for the enchanted table, but it's just kind of moon because I thought the moon looked good. And then these guys showed up, I just ignored them and enchanted my chest plate anyway. However, getting enchantment points was quite tricky, so I found the coordinates of a spawner I had used before, this skeleton one here, and we got clearing it out and turning it into an XP farm. Had a bit of a lava issue there, but you know what's not an issue? Finding diamonds when you're working on your XP farm. Pretty lucky. And this is a very basic farm. I didn't actually make it so that you shoot it, because I've not been to the nether yet, so I haven't got any soul sand, so it's just made a really basic one, which still works. It just means I lose a part of my sword's durability and have to hit skeletons more times. But eventually, we got it working quite smoothly, and we managed to get a decent amount of XP, and enchant our sword and our boots, which would give an area of infinity on our boots. Boy, it might get rid of all that for his birth. No, it doesn't. I also made this bow here out of 2 bows I collected from the skeletons, and then I got brave. I decided, let's go to the Nether. So I did, and it was a terrible spawn. Look at the map, for example. What the heck is going on here? I have no idea. The biomes are purple. I don't know what's going on. I just was terrified. So I was like, you know what? This is just not worth it. I'm going to head home. But I was still feeling adventurous. I went out on a surface adventure to this place which I found earlier. Some really cool things in the chest, such as this trinket here, which I enabled, and it increases my health. You can see the orange hearts in a second. Those are all extra hearts, very useful indeed. Those are some spider spawn which just had this and emeralds and some iron and such. But in the other chest, I managed to get myself this necklace. And what it does is that when I get hit, this increases my HP as well. And also look at this walrus hat. I don't know why, I just love it. It looks so funny. But I was still in the adventurous mood, so I went out and found this island which had some pink sand, collected some oil just to confirm, yes, it is oil. And then I discovered this volcano island which had volcanoes on it and chickens, so I killed them. However, the volcanoes were interesting too. Also that weird shaped head thing there. I came across some really pretty biomes, including this one here. I thought this one looked really quite glorious, so I stole some skeleton from it. Saw a sea temple, but decided, nope, not going to go near there, probably going to kill me. Did see this thing though, I managed to get some alchemist shells, plus a buried treasure map. And I decided, let's get this buried treasure. I haven't done it so far, and I thought it might be something interesting in the chest, and it took forever to find, but we got there eventually, and I was right. There was flippers in the chest, and oh my gosh, these things are hilarious. Not only do they look hilarious, but look how fast I can swim now. It is ridiculous, and here you can see how far I've traveled. It is kind of ridiculous. So we slept again, and then we got swimming all across the world, which was so quick. I loved it so much. Until we found a village, until we came over and secret adventure. Yeah, instead of this, my parents made it look a bit nicer. I started off by making this pagoda here for our waystone. It was just out in the open. It looked ugly. I wanted it to look special, as it is special to me. It's how we travel around everywhere. I even had to head back to the Nether to get some glowstone, which honestly was lanterns here, which I thought looked really cool to put them on the waystone. I did this sign in here, Celebration Day 69. I don't know why that's a funny number though, because I'm too innocent for that. Anyway, let's add a path on, and we also are going to use some leaves here to decorate the area just to make it look a bit nicer, colourful, etc. I love to make the terrain around my area look good as well, and I love these colourful leaves, so I just have to use some of them, as well as, of course, a load of flowers as well. There's a mod that is in the mod pack, which means you can bone meal any flower you want to get duplicates, which saves you going out and collecting them, so very useful. And as you can see here, the area is looking quite nice. I then headed back to my skeleton spawn to get some more XP, but also to work on making a way up and down a bit easier. At the moment I had a way down, but no way up, so I got working on this elevator here, which didn't take too long, and I was just sort of, killing some skeletons in between as well. But look, it's finally working. We'll travel all the way to the surface with ease. It's already a long way down, I'm pretty much at bedrock down there. Anyway, more killing, more disenchanting, more enchanting to get some really terrible enchants, to be honest with you. Especially this one here, punch one, rubbish. Eventually, after trying for a long time, I just had to give up. It was taking way too long. I managed to get on around 2 on my page. Again, so feeling a bit more confident with our enchanted now, I'm heading back this time. Heading out as I was talking a bit more. I found this weird spawner with these evil striders, all these weird types of wood, this weird type of ore, which I don't know what it does, and I saw this on the map as well. And on the way to it, I discovered this weird totem, which apparently gives you looting too, although it makes mobs harder to kill. But I found the pyramid, yes, that's right, it's like a desert pyramid, but Nether style, and I opened this chest here like an idiot, and of course it was rigged with TNT, so it exploded and I lost everything. However, I did notice there was a Nether portal, so I lit that portal as I was running out of food, so I had to head home. So I went through the portal, and oh my gosh, we're so far away. I slept, and you can see here on the map, it is a long distance, so I set off on a long adventure. It took a while, pretty much a full day to get home, but we finally got home, killed some cows, made some more food, and headed straight back to the Nether, where I swiftly found a bastion, which I chose to ignore, as well as a load of other biomes as well, including some weird stuff. And in this chest, I found this fire gauntlet, which makes it so that I have fire aspect on everything I attack things with. But after a while of travelling, I eventually found a Nether portal, made myself a shield when I got there, and it's a good job because this blaze probably would have knocked me off the edge, but luckily we managed to get out with 8 blaze rods. And also listen to the sound of this stuff. Ew, I don't know why, it just makes me feel queasy. But hey, this is actually quite a cool looking nether biome, so I stole some of the stuff, including these dangly things, which look quite cool, and then set off heading home, which was a pain because I couldn't remember which way I came, so had to take some very scary routes all the way there. Also found another blaze spawner quite close to home, killed all the blazes, stole all the stuff from the chest, nothing that interesting, to be honest. Had a close call with death here when I realised my gold boots had broken, and yeah, I could have easily been shot off by that dude, but I made some more gold boots and headed home, and finally we made it home, and I decided when I got home to make some tacos. So that's what I did. I made some tacos. Turns out they're pretty good food, so I made quite a few as they were really easy to make, and I've got loads of corn. Enchanted my pickaxe as I wanted to get working on some more islands, specifically another star one to start with, and this time I planted some grapes on it, hoping that the island would be a purple colour, but I think it's actually just going to be like a dark green, which is a shame, but it still looks pretty cool. And now I had my blaze rods, it was time I got working on my end adventure, and of course we had to kill endermen. However, the first night I found 2 endermen, and neither of them dropped ender pearls, and I wasted a full 10 minutes at night just finding nothing, so I got a bit bored and went on a bit of an adventure again to find some new biomes, including this one here, a snowy village with a cute little bee section in it, or little meteor in the village. Also found a baby turtle, I didn't know they just spawned in the wild, but that was cute. Also found some really weird biomes, found some cool looking wood, found this another tower which was sandstone this time, did the first layer, then decided, you know what, that's enough, so I just left instantly and went to get more wood because I like collecting wood. And whilst collecting loads of resources for something I'm going to build in a second, I managed to get 30 enchantment points and make a pretty good shovel. But the thing I'm building is a potion workshop sort of thing. My plan was to get a cleric villager and then trade him for ender pearls, so I thought I would convert him. And obviously, if we're going to have a brewing stand, we may as well build a massive house for it, so that's exactly what I did. I just thought it looked really cute, and I was really happy with how it turned out. And look, the brewing stand fits in there so perfectly with this little cauldron. Oh, it's such a nice little house. Also, these shelves are great for storing potions on. And I was sick of all the other islands looking kind of ugly, so I decided to make this one the sort of standard and added loads of flowers on, etc. And it ended up looking really cool. I then got working on some potion of weakness. However, I kind of forgot that you needed a zombie and didn't have a zombie, so I just traded with the cleric anyway and didn't convert him. Got a load of emeralds, traded this cleric up here, and after wasting a load of gold and emeralds, he did not have an ender pearl tray. Yay! So I had to head to another village where I traded with another cleric, and this guy eventually had the ender pearls, so we could make a lasso. That's right! I got distracted again from the end, however I did check which direction the portal was in, but the lasso works like a lasso. You can pick things up in it, so I went and got a panda, as I really wanted a panda. And then I discovered this as well, a glider. It's like Elytra, except it looks ridiculous, and I love it. Look how fast I glide. It's so nice, it's so easy to use, and I love it. It's my favourite thing now. But after my distractions, I decided to finally get working on the end, so I went and got a load more ender pearls and set off looking for the portal. Found a pirate ship along the way, but honestly, this portal was ridiculously far. It took me quite a few days to find it, and I did lose 2 eyes of ender on the way. I did find another one of those cool things. I checked it, didn't have anything interesting, but as you can see here, we finally stumbled across the portal, and using the map was very easy to find where the rooms were, so I managed to find the portal room really quickly. However, 1 ender pearl, yay! So I had to put down a waystone, which I luckily brought with me, and then I headed back and did some more trading until I had all the eyes of ender I needed. So feeling pretty scared, I went and put all of them in the portal, and then I did some preparing. I made sure that my bow had some good enchantments on it, because I'm going to be using that a lot. Made sure I had loads of arrows, and then we headed to the end. Look at this idiot. This idiot's about to kill the ender dragon. That's right, in we go. Kind of a bad spawn, but oh well. We got to work destroying all those portals, doing the standard ender dragon stuff. You've seen this all many times before. It was too hard to be honest. The glider did come in very much useful though, and eventually you managed to kill the ender dragon, and of course had to punch her in the head a few times to finish it off. And we have done one of the harder things to do on hardcore. Yay, let's head home. I broke my bed like an idiot, so I've got to make my way back from spawn. Look at this idiot, he just killed the ender dragon. I glided, I swam, and we made it home eventually after we got to this village and teleported home. But we've only got a few days left now, so I wanted to do something special for the last few days. I gathered a load of resources and then we got to work on Panda Island. That's right, a whole island dedicated to having one panda on it. I might get some more in the future, but I could only find one for now. So instead, we made it look really nice, so he'd be very happy on here. And I put him on there and I called him Peter the Panda because he looked like a Peter. And Peter behaves like a dog because he instantly wanted me to stroke his belly, but I didn't do it because he's a panda. Anyway, I made a path over and that is day 100. And there's so much more of this mod pack that I just haven't done. So honestly, I might do day 200. If people want to see that, let me know in the comments. Here you can see my little area so far. I'm really happy with this. I think I made some solid progress over these 100 days. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like and comment, subscribe for you, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.
Ilagay ko yung ano. Ito. Patungan natin yung nagpahal para sa children. Lana?
Apa?
Kuya, pakikabit na ito. Kuya. Bukas na. Masyadong marami. Yung mga ipin, kuya, bakit hindi mo binalik yung sa lalagyan? Ay, yung ipin mo, hindi mo na kailangan makarami ako. Ayos mo na ako muna. Hindi, kung mo muna yung mga putes ng kayo na. Uy. No, ano naman? Ayaw tumulo eh. Sira na naman. Hindi, hindi sira. Ayaw lang tumulo. Alfred, ino mo nga ito. Ayaw tumulo na. Kaya sabi ko, uy.
Baka naipit na.
Oo, naipit lang ang gula. Hindi, mayan ako. Nang yung ayusin yung nga yan, ay ano na naman ang problema niya. Thank you na. Ayan na. Ayan na, ayaw. Kaya uwi ako ng huli.